Miami inside the American Airlines Arena. The 17-8 Heat, the 14-9 Hornets. The Heat have won 8 straight games, the last 4 on the road in dominating fashion. And tonight, a team that has moved right to the top of the class in defensive play. The Miami Heat will take on a team in New Orleans that has really struggled to score. Can the Heat's defense and rebounding continue to be as dominant as it's been against this New Orleans team?
Well, that's the story tonight. Remember, point guards were killing the Heat earlier in the season. They're going against the best in the league, in my opinion, in Chris Paul. The Heat are going to have to contain that man to win this game tonight.
Chris Paul, who riddled Miami's defense in early November with a 19-assist game, helping the Hornets break down the Heat defense and score 50 points in the paint. So revenge, only one of Miami's motives tonight. The Hornets trying to become just the second team this year to defeat the Heat twice. The Celtics are the only team to do that. Our officiating crew, Scott Foster, Curtis Blair, and the man who will toss up the opening tip, Rodney Mott. Well, South Florida, great to be back at home, and glad to have you with us as always as we embark on another Miami Heat NBA adventure. Well, the Heat getting back from their West Coast trip, 7:15 a.m. Sunday morning, but enough time to regroup, and off we go as Bosh banks it in.
Good start, obviously, for Chris Bosh. Had a very good road trip, and now has continued that at home.
Chris Paul and David West, the two go-to men for this Hornets offense. Emeka Okafor had his best game of the year, scoring 26 from the center spot when these clubs met in the Big Easy. Rebound batted back, taken by Trevor Ariza. And this is Marco Bellinelli missing the three. And Chris Bosh, well, his rebounding getting better and better.
His pursuit with 2 hands, Eric, has really been outstanding.
His 17 rebounds on the 4th game in 6 nights was just awesome as Bosh making his first 2 shots tonight. Could you ask for a better beginning for the power forward out of Georgia Tech? With 17 rebounds Saturday against the Kings, the most grabbed by a Heat player this year. So it's Bosh 4, and the Hornets looking for their first score. Chris Paul, a bullet pass down low, knocked away by Ilgauskas. Here comes Wade with LeBron. LeBron missing on the layup. That ill-fated from the start. The Heat had a 2-on-1. Did not capitalize with their best 2 finishers.
Yeah, Dwayne threw that behind LeBron on that lob, and LeBron did not have a chance to dunk it.
Trevor Ariza gets the Hornets' first score. Well, Tony, last fast break, an opportunity where the Heat were trying to hit a home run rather than just get the easy 2.
Well, that's the way they play, though. Usually that play works. It's a high-percentage play.
Bosh against Okafor. He'll try again. And Bosh gets his own rebound. Chris Bosh, who had just 1 rebound the last time these 2 clubs met. LeBron guarded by Ariza. Bellinelli defending Dwayne High dribble by James. Shot clock is down to 6. Z comes up short. And Okafor with a rebound. Hornets come in 6th in the West, 2 games behind Utah. Same record as Denver, but they beat the Nuggets by 6 in their 2nd game of the year. Hornets got off to an 8-0 start, but they've dropped 8 of their last 11. David West. Oh, that's a power move by West. Got the score and the foul.
You said it, Eric. The 2-time All-Star just took his man to the basket. Zydrunas Ilgauskas tried to block the shot. He had to shoot it over a guy 7'3" with a long arm span. He did it and got the foul.
David West averaged 19 points a game last year. First time in the last 3 years he was under 20, and this year he's under 20 again, but not by much, over 18.5 points a game for the 8-year veteran out of Xavier. So he has 3, and the Hornets have scored 5 unanswered to take their first lead. Heat started slowly Saturday night in Sacramento, but did they come on after the first quarter? Emeka Okafor fouling Dwayne Wade, one of the recipes that has been successful for Wade, Tony, something that he's used all 8 years in the NBA, his ability to get to the foul line.
That shot fake gets him there as Okafor tries to block the shot. And Eric, the toughest game on any NBA team schedule is when they come back from a long road trip going east or west and they play the next day. This, as you mentioned, the team got in, flew all night, got in Sunday morning, and now they're playing the next night. That's a tough game to get up for. Your body's still maybe on West Coast time. You're a little sluggish. So they're either going to have to fight through that, the mental aspect of that, to win the game tonight.
I don't know about you. I did not get much sleep on that red-eye home from Sacramento.
Yeah.
But you play the schedule, and Miami bouncing right back tonight. Their first game at home since the December 4th win over the Atlanta Hawks after a dominating 4-game West Coast trip. Dwayne Wade with his first 2 points tonight. Wade averaging 23 points a game this year, but averaging almost 27 points on 60% shooting. And the Heat's 8-game winning streak, he was named today the Eastern Conference Player of the Week.
And Eric, another way of looking at it is this Hornet team played yesterday, as you mentioned, played yesterday afternoon in Philadelphia. The Heat did not play, so maybe that evens it out a little bit.
You know, there is some speculation of whether the Hornets played or not the other day. Bosh with his third field goal in 4 tries. The Hornets had an awful game yesterday in Philadelphia, an afternoon game. A 17-2 first half run for Philadelphia set the tone. The Hornets losing 88-70. They were held to 23 first half points, just 10 in the second quarter. Both were season lows, and scored a season low 70 points on a season worst 30% shooting. And the most amazing statistic of all that came out of yesterday's loss in Philadelphia, just 4 assists for New Orleans. Tell you how rare that is when we get a chance. Arroyo behind his back. Could not finish on Paul. LeBron missing in close off the offensive rebound.
That's the Heat twice now have missed. 3 times have missed. Point on the basket.
LeBronjames twice has missed layup opportunities. Wade got a deflection, but Okafor gets the score. Emeka Okafor, who missed all 5 of his shots yesterday, but did hit 12 of 13 and scored a season-high 26 when these clubs met in New Orleans. Bosh again given room. And the long rebound finds David West. He'd have missed 6 of their first 9 shots. Bosh has all 3 Heat field goals. Ariza finds Okafor in between Bosh and Ilgauskas. West too far into the basket. Ilgauskas getting a piece of 3 different shots there.
3 block shots for Z on that one offensive sequence by the Hornets.
What a stand for Zydrunas. Ilgauskas repelling 3 different New Orleans shots. Arroyo from the corner. Kaboom! Carlos Arroyo, his 18th triple. He's made more threes this year than in most. He's 3rd in the NBA in three-point percentage.
Yeah, he's behind Mike Bibby and Deshaun Stevenson. Who would have thunk it?
Carlos Arroyo has made 14 of his last 21 shots over the last 5 games. Miami ahead by 4. Just under 7 minutes left, first quarter. Bellinelli, former Golden State Warrior, got in, but coughed it up, and here comes Dwayne Wade, open court. LeBron the trailer. Wade doesn't need him.
Offense leading the defense. Coach Polster said when the Heat plays good D, they get rhythm and focus at the other end, and they're certainly doing that now.
Well, Heat fans saw that kind of basketball last 4 games on the road. Now they are enjoying it live and in person. A 9-2 explosion for Miami. Now you can make a case that the Miami Heat are the best defensive team in the NBA right now. The Heat lead the league in points allowed, 91 a game. Actually 2nd in the league in points allowed. They are 1st in the league in field goal percentage defense. And a moment ago, Chris Bosh blocked 2 shots. Ilgauskas 1 in 1 fine skirmish underneath the Hornet basket. Well, the Hornets just 3 for their first 10. Tony, a good start for Miami. High energy here in the first quarter. Now they've given 2 blocks apiece. 2 for Ilgauskas, 2 blocks for Bosh. That's 4 blocks in the first 5.5 minutes of this game. And Chris Paul, so crafty with a dribble, and he draws a foul on Miami. And that's the first of the night on Carlos Arroyo. Tony, what would be the key for Carlos Arroyo to help contain Chris Paul?
Well, that time he didn't let him go into the screen. Chris Paul went away from Arroyo, take him into the big, trap him on that wing so he doesn't have room to maneuver. And so don't try to overplay Chris Paul.
Bellinelli, a very good 3-point shooter. The native of Italy, has 44 triples this year on 41% shooting. Well, the Hornets are down 3. So far they put a blanket on LeBron, but they left Zydrunas uncovered. And Ilgauskas gets his first score. Zydrunas making his 17th straight start. The Heat have won 12 of his first 16. Trevor Ariza, former Los Angeles Laker and former UCLA Bruin in his first year with the Hornets. Paul open from the wing for two. Chris Paul, the only double-figure scorer for the Hornets yesterday afternoon in Philadelphia. He scored 25 of their 70 points.
How about he's sixth in the NBA in three-point shooting at 49%?
He is third in assists as Ilgauskas missed the long jumper and Paul advances. He's 6-foot guard in his sixth season at Wake Forest.
That's what makes he and Darren Williams of Utah so dangerous, because they're very good at dishing the ball, double-figure assists, but yet they can score from anywhere on the floor.
Chrisbosh picks up his first, third team foul on the Miami Heat. Tony, I want to get back to their assist total yesterday in Philadelphia. Only 4 assists, fewest in an NBA game since at least the 86-87 season when the NBA started tracking assists for the team game by game. Now, the fewest assists ever in an NBA game, 3. It's happened 4 times, the last coming in 1976 by the Knicks in a game against the Boston Celtics, but a remarkably low figure for assists, just 4. 3 of them came for Chris Paul, who averages 10 a game this year.
Well, that's what's so amazing about it. You got arguably one of the best point guard guys in the NBA, and to get only 3 assists for the game and 4 for a team, that's almost unimaginable.
You know, the Hornets 70 points yesterday tied Orlando 70 against Miami as the second lowest scoring game this year. The fewest points was 62 by the Bobcats against the Celtics, and their 30% shooting yesterday against the 76ers tied Orlando's mark against Miami as well as the worst field goal percentage in a game this season.
New Orleans looks like they're in a zone.
5 on the shot clock. LeBron will launch and connect. Missed 2 layups, drills that 15-footer. Man averaging 24 points a game, puts the Heat up 4. Bellinelli fakes the 3 and makes the 2. Marco Bellinelli, who scored 8 points in the first matchup, already has 5 tonight.
The Heat will live with that, Eric. They've done a very good job playing against teams like, teams that really shoot the ball well, like Orlando, where you go out and run him off the shot, make him take the 2 rather than the 3.
Tony, the Hornets are packed into a 2-3 zone. Eric Spoelstra talked about this earlier. He said, everybody's playing us the same, packing in, zone defenses, enticing us to take long jump shots. Ilgauskas with a one-handed rebound.
Yeah, the other team that he has played like that is Phoenix.
4 minutes left, first quarter, Heat up 2. Chris Bosh against David West. Got fouled on the hook, and Bosh will go to the free throw line. David West picks up his first foul.
What you want to be able to do, Eric, as an offense is to go at guys that are the best players on the other team. So you got West guarding Bosh. You want him to take West off the dribble, try to get him in foul trouble.
Eric Dampier, Miami's first change tonight. The 15-year veteran out of Mississippi State replaces Zydrunas Ilgauskas. And, Coach, they have been an effective 1-2 combo in the middle for Miami over the last several games. Well, Heat fans, the Cavaliers of Cleveland are coming to the American Airlines Arena Wednesday night. If you want to be here at the Heat's house to help Miami create an intense home court advantage, you can. Great lower level seats are available for this game, or sit uptown for a great low price. Buy your tickets online anytime, including right now at heat.com.
Coach Spoelstra often speaks about a 3-headed center that he has. He's got Big Z that starts at 7'3", that can hit a jump shot. He's got Dampier, who's big and strong inside, can block shots, and a space eater. And then he's got Joel Anthony at 6'9", who started the year off starting at center, who can run the floor and really get after people, got the quick feet of a small forward.
8 on the shot clock for New Orleans, and it goes to a former UConn star, Emeka Okafor. And Eric Dampier, that's unfortunate. Only 2 seconds left on the 24-second clock, and Dampier picks up a hand check foul.
Eric, he had good position that time, but he reached in on Okafor. All he had to do was maintain his position. Watch this again. He's going to reach in and draw a foul here. Just maintain it. You got 2 more seconds on the clock. As he reaches in, he commits the foul.
Juwan Howard in, Chris Bosh out. And James Jones also checks in for Miami. Dwayne Wade goes to the bench.
And as we usually point out, Chris Bosh goes out with about the 3.5, 4-minute mark, gets a rest, starts the second quarter. So it's a routine that Coach Spoelstra likes to use.
Chris Paul out of the corner. David West with the offensive rebound. West converts. David West already has 6 points and 7 rebounds. West had 15 points and the same 7 rebounds back on the 5th of November in New Orleans against Miami. It's a 1-point Heat lead, and the Heat continue to operate cautiously against this zone defense. Shot clock is down to 6. Arroyo, tough one over West, way off, and Coach, right now I'd say the zone defense for New Orleans is working.
Yeah, clogging up the middle, and the Heat's got to run more, and LeBron picks up a foul.
First on LeBron, Miami over the limit. The early challenge has been levied by New Orleans. They're packing in their zone. They're enticing the Heat to shoot jumpers, and so far those jumpers are not dropping for Miami. Welcome back to Miami, Florida, the American Airlines Arena here in downtown Miami. Sun Sports presenting Heat basketball. Presented to you by AT&T Uverse. You're looking at the youngest head coach in the NBA, 38-year-old Monty Williams, the third Hornets coach in the last 3 years. And he has improved the defense for the Hornets. They're allowing just under 92 points a game, third best scoring defense, and number 8 in field goal percentage allowed. They're a much better defensive team this year. The problem has been on the offensive end. The Hornets ranking 26 in the league in scoring at just under 94 points a game. And Monty, very honest before the game, he said, we've missed some shots. We've had our rough moments. Some outside distractions with the franchise, a trade that disrupted a little bit. He said he's sold on his top 8, but he's got to play a guessing game from night to night off his bench. And he said, lately, I've been making some wrong decisions with my bench. But he's being hard on himself. Coach, they've done a pretty good job this year so far.
No doubt, and when you have guys that are sporadic in their contributions off the bench, then you search for other guys. So it's every night it's a different adventure.
Ball game is tied at 18, 2.5 left first quarter here in Miami. So far, the Heat taking jumpers against the Hornets zone defense. LeBron drives and converts. Second score for LeBron James. Hornets right now being led by David West, who has 6 points and 7 rebounds. Chrisbosh leads the Heat with 7 points. Bellinelli for 3. And the long rebound taken by Trevor Ariza from behind. James Jones deflects it away. Look, and the Heat out-rebound a 9th straight team. They've been dominating on the glass by over 10 rebounds a game in this 8-game winning streak. Out on the road, they out-rebounded 4 opponents by over 14 a game. But early on, Coach, the Hornets with a 13-8 advantage on the glass. 5
on the offensive board, so the Heat's got to get after the defensive boards.
Remember, protecting the defensive glass was an early season problem for Miami. It has recurred here in the first quarter tonight. This is Aaron Gray, the veteran center. Just activated. He's spent most of the year on the inactive list. That time it showed. He bobbled the ball and then committed a foul.
Yeah, you can see he's a little rusty. When he caught the ball at the foul line, didn't even look at the rim. He can make that shot from the foul line and then bobble that pass.
Aaron Gray, 7-footer out of Pitt in his 4th NBA season. And when I say he hasn't played much, I mean it. 2 games and 21 minutes on the year. And that's another example. The Hornets are still searching for backups. Chalmers in, finds James Jones for 3. Kaboom! James Jones and 3s, and they go hand in hand. 11 straight games with at least 1 triple for Jones, who is shooting 56% from downtown in that stretch.
He did not have much room that time. He doesn't need it. He gets 6'8", gets the shot over the defender.
James Jones, 54th triple this year. He's 4th in the NBA in making 3s. And, Coach, what a pleasant surprise James Jones has been. Remember, the preseason injury to Mike Miller took away one of the Heat's best perimeter weapons, but James Jones has stepped in and up and filled that void.
He's done a great job, and it's not just shooting the 3s, Eric. He's much better as a rebounder. He's shown some toughness on defense.
Juwan Howard committed that last foul. David West misses the first free throw. Mike Miller getting closer and closer to his return to the active roster. Remember, he broke the thumb on his right hand, his shooting hand. Here's video of Miller warming up tonight before the game. And, Coach, this is a good sign, but just the first step along the way as he continues to recover. That's a serious injury when you break the thumb on your shooting hand, and while his range of motion looks good there, you got to be ready for contact as well.
There's no doubt. It took James Jones really 2 years or a year and a half to come back from his hand injury.
Miami up by 4, 7 points for David West. Minute to go, first quarter. Jones, straightaway three. That one rims out. Good looking rebound for the athletic 6'8" Trevor Ariza. Ariza averages 5.5 rebounds a game. Jarrett Jack in for the Hornets. They acquired him from Toronto a few weeks back, and he's become their backup point guard, taking the job that was held by Willie Green.
And he's another guy getting acclimated to this team.
Trevor Ariza knocks in the jumper. Ariza averages 11 and already has 5. The Hornets are down by 2. And the Hornets still in that zone. Chalmers for the penetrating Dampier. That's good ball movement and player movement against the zone.
That was pretty. Good eye contact between the two players. Good timing on the cut and a good pass by Chalmers.
First score of the game for Eric Dampier, playing in his 10th game with Miami.
Almost 2-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
This is Jack, gets through the first wave of defense, finds David West inside, and West draws a foul. And coach, there's another example. When a point guard breaks through the first line of defense, it usually causes you a problem somewhere along the way.
And Dampier hit him with his left hand on the body, so he pushed him on the shot. Jarrett Jack getting into the lane area, beating 3 Heat defenders. And you can see right there with the left hand, Dampier pushes West.
David West will be taking his 6th and 7th free throws of the quarter. The Heat as a team have taken only 4. By the way, that in-the-lane replay was brought to you by Maroney. Remember, gang, all 30 Maroney service lanes are open 7 days a week. Visit MaroneyService.com. Trevor Ariza out. In comes their rookie out of the University of Washington, Quincy Pondexter. And Eric Dampier comes out quickly. Dampier picked up 2 fouls in 4 minutes. And talking about Pondexter, the 6'6" swingman, was the 26th pick in the 2010 draft by Oklahoma City and acquired in a draft night trade. He's a very good athlete. They acquired him on draft night for Mo Peterson and Cole Aldridge.
He's in the game because the Heat has a little over 6 seconds to score. You probably look for Joel Anthony to start the second half at center.
LeBron from the top of the circle bounces off. Well, Miami got 7 quick points from Chris Bosh, but David West was the star of the first quarter. The New Orleans power forward had 9 points and 7 first quarter rebounds.
After one, Jason Jackson courtside. As you know, the New Orleans Hornets are owned now by the NBA, and if you didn't know, now you know. And as a part of our Kia car, we introduce you to the man who is running the entire situation. Kia car presented by Kia Motors, a power to surprise. That gentleman appointed by Commissioner Stern is New Orleans native Jack Sperling, the 61-year-old sports lawyer, went to college and law school at the University of Virginia after a successful high school basketball career in New Orleans. He had a failed attempt to walk on with the Cavs, but he kept rolling on in the business of sports, living in Colorado right out of school, but now resides in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. That comes up in a moment. Before his current gig as the Hornets keeper, Sperling worked on deals to build Coors Field, Miller Park, AT&T Park in San Francisco. He also led the charge to land the NHL's Minnesota Wild, was a part owner, ran the team at one point. He has sold his part since, but now as a team VP as well as this job. Now, job number 1, back home in New Orleans, trying to find a local buyer. The commissioner realizes that this is not going to be easy, especially with out-of-town owners dangling money around. Sperling apparently does have some potential options in New Orleans, though. There are rumors suggesting that Yahoo co-founder and Lake Charles native and Tulane alum David Philo, worth an estimated $3 billion, is a possible buyer. New Orleans attorney Morris Bart has also reportedly been trying to assemble an ownership group. So Eric and Tony, folks, are trying to keep this team down in the Big Easy.
And that will be anything but easy. Jack's informative report on a very unusual situation with the New Orleans Hornets. The league trying to give the franchise stability, but that doesn't really seem all that stable when the league has to come in and buy a franchise. George Shinn, the original owner of the Charlotte Hornets, has been a part of the Hornet franchise for the entire history of the franchise, but not for much longer, and not any longer at all. Joel Anthony underneath, gobbled up by Jason Smith, the former Philadelphia 76er and resident 7-footer. Right now the Heat are behind by 1. They'll get the ball back on New Orleans' 3rd turnover of the game. Before we get back to the Hornet situation, The Heat went through the first quarter without a turnover. First time they've gone through a quarter this year without committing a turnover. Tony, whether they can stay in New Orleans long term is a major question mark. Has nothing to do with this particular Hornets team, but yet it has been a distraction, one that Monty Williams says we cannot use as any kind of an excuse.
No, there's no doubt, and there's even been stories written about contraction, so that also comes into the mix. You know, when you dissolve a team and disperse the players on other teams in the NBA.
Yeah, so the two of the three scenarios are not good for the people of New Orleans, and that would be the team disappearing totally or the team relocating. The third option, of course, is for the team to remain in New Orleans, where they'll probably need a better arena deal for any new ownership to turn a profit. Jason Smith committed that last foul. Chrisbosh could not convert the three-point play. Bosh does lead Miami with 9 points.
And Eric, to start the second quarter, I believe it's the first time this year we've seen the Heat in a 2-3 zone. They did it for a couple of sequences. Now they're back to the man-to-man.
And Aaron Gray using that big body able to score in the paint. Well, the Hornets proving to be a very tough out for Miami. The Hornets are up by 1. Wade against Willie Green draws the foul and will get a trip to the free throw line. Something the Heat haven't done very often tonight. Just 5 free throws attempted through the first quarter.
D-Wade's got all those gyrations. It's very difficult to keep your feet. I'm sure in every opponent's scouting report it is to stay down on D-Wade's fakes and ball fakes, shot fakes. It's easier said than done.
Well, it's that time again this year. Heat fans, the holidays are upon us. Christmas and New Year's just around the corner. And here at the Heat's house, well, you know, every year the East Plaza turns into a winter wonderland. This year it's from December 20th through January 1st, courtesy of Miami Children's Hospital. Bring the kids and the whole family to enjoy pregame and halftime activities, which include bounce houses, face painting, pictures with Bernie Claus, and Heat dancer autographs. Winter Wonderland free to everybody who has a ticket to games on the December 20th, 28th, and January 1st. You can purchase your Heat tickets online at heat.com. 5 points for Wade. Tie game here in Miami. Chalmers from behind. Knocked it away from Jarrett Jack. And here he comes. Wade over Green. That's a tough shot, but it drops. 3 points in a row for Dwayne.
Well, we know that D-Wade and LeBron get on runs. They have, especially of late, where they kind of own the quarter when they get going.
Quincy Pondexter thought better of it. Good closeout defense by Chalmers, and Jarrett Jack getting more comfortable with each game he plays here. This is his 11th game with the Hornets. That's his first field goal of this one. He's got 3. Jarrett Jack tonight playing in his 313th consecutive game. The second best active streak of games played in the NBA, trailing only Derek Fisher's 432. Wade got caught underneath the rim and was running out of gravity. Yeah, that's Miami's first turnover tonight. Good defense by Joel Anthony. Bosh with a Wes Unseld outlet. And a hard foul from behind by Jarrett Jack. And Wade definitely checking the license plate of the Jack that just hit him.
Well, a block at one end by Joel Anthony leads to that breakaway by Wade. He got hit in midair. The officials are going to talk. They're going to call it a hard foul. Let's see it again. All you have to determine is whether there's unnecessary contact. Could be a flagrant 1. And that looked like a hard foul.
Dwayne Wade has just been hit with a technical foul. Now, was he making a play on the ball, or is he just trying to hog-tie Wade from behind to prevent the layup? Either way, it's Jarrett Jack that gets the technical free throw.
Eric, that's not really in the rule whether you're going for the ball or not. The referees can't determine intent. All they determine is if there was unnecessary contact on the play. Let's see it again. The dangerous thing about this play is that the man is up in the air. And Jack, you know, the point you're making is a good one. Jack did not go for the ball at all, but that's not in the rule at all.
Jarrett Jack's free throw puts the Hornets up by 1. Now Wade gets 2 on this end. Miami missing 4 of their first 8 free throws.
If that was a flagrant 1, Wade would have gotten 2 shots and the Heat would have gotten the ball on the side.
Dwayne Wade has shot 60% from the field or better in 6 of the last 7 games. From the free throw line, different story, just 71% this season. Tie game at 31. Wade has Miami's last 4 points. James Jones defending Willie Green, a veteran out of Detroit Mercy College. Jason Smith. Now Jason Smith, he's been in and out of the rotation. Had a good game against Miami the first time these clubs met, Tony, when he had 12 points and 6 rebounds off the Hornets bench.
Yeah, actually drafted by the Miami Heat in 2007.
Swapped to the Philadelphia 76ers for Daquan Cook. Wade on the move, and he draws another foul. Well, good things happen when Dwayne Wade gets past that first defender and into the painted area. 2 free. Our JM Lexus road ahead. Big battle coming up with the much improved New York Knicks at Madison Square Garden Friday night. Then to the nation's capital, the Heat Wizards on Saturday at 7. And a big game Monday next week as well. The Dallas Mavericks, another of those teams to beat Miami, comes to Miami. Then the Heat play at Phoenix 2 nights before Christmas. See it all right here on Sun Sports. And there's your JM Lexus road ahead. A JM Lexus price made up #1, 18 years running. Click jmlexus.com to find out how. Hottest teams in the NBA, the Mavericks have won 12 in a row. Tonight they host Milwaukee. Boston, 10 straight wins. They play at New York on Wednesday. And the Knickerbockers, 8 straight wins, including 13 of their last 14. The Knicks leading the NBA in scoring right now at over 108 points a game. And they have an NBA best 8 straight games with over 100 points. So before the Knicks get Miami, they get the Celtics on Wednesday, and the Heat get the Cavaliers. But first things first, Miami trying to take care of their Monday night business here against a New Orleans team that has lost 2 straight and 8 of their last 11. They haven't had a 3-game losing streak yet this year.
And right now, the tempo of the game is in the Hornets' favor. They're either not running as much, you got to get stops, get it out and go. They haven't done it that much yet.
Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh leading Miami with 9 points. David West leading the Hornets with 9, along with 7 rebounds. And another foul on the Heat being assessed to Chris Bosh.
I think it's
No, check
Chalmers.
it.
Yeah,
It
Mario
is Chalmers. Mario picks up his first. And that is the team's first foul in this second quarter. Now, Miami came into this game second place in the East, 3 games behind Boston, a half game up on Orlando, but Tony is very close. Nobody could get too accustomed to any position in the East. Chicago, Atlanta, and New York are all within a game and a half of the Heat.
It's going to be like that for a while, Eric. The Eastern teams are better than people give them credit for. And with 8:25 left in this quarter, the Heat have the Hornets already in foul trouble with 5 team fouls, so the Heat are in the bonus the rest of the quarter.
Tony, the Heat are in real deep rebounding trouble, though. They've been out-rebounded 20-9. And that is eye-catching for a Heat team that has out-rebounded the last 8 opponents by more than 10 a game. Paul for Okafor. And Emeka on the pick and roll scores for the second time for Chris Paul, his second assist. And this 3-point lead for the Hornets is their biggest, but that rebound disparity is a little bit scary for Miami here in the first half.
Yeah, those are second chance points.
And the Hornets have not really been a strong rebounding team this year overall. Marco Bellinelli back in. Willie Green goes to the bench.
Picked up 3 fouls guarding Dwayne Wade.
And LeBron James back in for the Heat. Trevor Ariza checking back for the Hornets.
Big Z's going to come in as well.
Dwayne Wade, he's taken 8 of Miami's first 11 free throws. Wade is 5th in the NBA, almost 9 free throw attempts a game.
And the Heat are going to go with 4 starters and Chalmers at point guard.
So Ilgauskas in, Anthony out. You know, Wade played well in New Orleans. The night the Heat lost by 3, went 13 for 13 from the line in that game, had 28 points and 10 rebounds. The one exception was 7 turnovers. First time Dwayne has gone to the line where he has made both. He's scored 7 straight Heat points. Miami's still down by 1. Wade, the first man to get to double figures with his 11 points. Chris Paul paints a pretty picture. Second bucket for the 2-time All-Star.
Makes it look easy, doesn't he?
Yeah, for a guy like Chris Paul, it does come easy, but being that great is never easy. Wade, stutter step dribble down the lane for the runner. That's pretty.
Oh, man. He faked going right and dodged going left and shot the runner in the lane.
9-point second quarter for Wade. 9 straight Heat points for Wade. He's got 13. The Heat are down 1. Almost a steal for James. Jason Smith. It popped out. Ilgauskas with his 4th rebound. LeBron motoring. Popped out for Bosh. Okafor with his 4th rebound. Chris Bosh made his first 3 shots, just 1 for his last 4. Bellinelli misses. Another rebound for Z.
Wayne's feeling it in this quarter. We talked about how he dominates some quarters and LeBron dominates others, especially the 3rd quarter for LeBron.
Chalmers drove the lane and drew a foul. And it's on Chris Paul. That's his first foul. And the Hornets are over the limit. Miami to the free throw line here with 6:18 still remaining in the 2nd quarter. I invite you to join us Wednesday night, 7:30 on FoxSportsFlorida.com for the Miami Heat Game Lounge. It's brought to you by AT&T Uverse. While the Heat are battling it out with the Cleveland Cavaliers, you can log on to chat with other Heat fans live. Let your voice be heard Wednesday night, 7:30 on FoxSportsFlorida.com during the Heat and the Cavaliers. 790 The Ticket radio personality, Stu Goss, the on-air partner of Dan Levitard, will be the guest on the Heat's Game Lounge.
Mario Chalmers goes 10 for 10 from the foul line for the season.
And his first 2 points of the game. Miami ahead by 1.
See Ilgauskas stepping out, Eric. They're trying to limit how much freedom Chris Paul has. Now you got Bosh stepping out.
Bellinelli got by Wade, flips it into Okafor. Another foul on Ilgauskas. And coach, doesn't have to be Chris Paul breaking down your defense. That time it was Bellinelli that got ahead of steam on Wade. That caused a problem on the back end.
Yeah, it was the double team on Paul that caused all of that. Just like Wade and LeBron, you see the double team, the Heat has to adjust their defense. There's penetration, and Ilgauskas picks up the foul.
Orleans, the Hornets took an early lead. The Heat did recover. Matter of fact, Miami's first lead came with just under a minute left on those 2 LeBron free throws. Then Trevor Ariza put the Hornets up by 4. His 3 came with 14 seconds left. Chris Bosh, kaboom from downtown. That 3 with 7 seconds left, but down 3. The Heat get an opportunity to tie. Eddie House missed it at the buzzer, and the Hornets won it 96-93. Monty Williams said Miami played us tough that night. But the Hornets had rebounded the Heat by 6, scoring 50 points in the paint. And, Coach, we're seeing some similar things tonight. New Orleans already with 14 points in the paint. And early on, the Hornets have a 10-rebound advantage over Miami.
And, Eric, as you said, some of the same problems tonight. The Heat have to, they look like they're playing a little sluggish right now. They've got to pick up the tempo. And you do that starting with better defense and then getting the ball out in the open court. 3-point play for Okafor.
5 points for Emeka. The Hornets lead by 2. Hornets are still in their 2-3 zone defense. It's given Miami some concern, and LeBron turns it over, and that is the first official turnover of tonight's game. Miami had never in their franchise history gone through a first half without committing a turnover. Almost got there tonight. 5:43 left in this first half.
There was no spacing on that pass, Eric. LeBron tried to throw that into a small area, and the hands got in the way and got it stolen.
Ariza backdoor cut for an easy score. 7 points for Trevor Ariza. The Heat looking flat-footed on that defensive possession. And the Hornets with their largest lead so far tonight at 42-38. Bosh, the left-handed flip. So Chris Bosh with 11 points on 5 for 8 shooting. Wade and Bosh have combined to score 24. The Heat's 40 points. Chris Paul so far, 4 points, couple of assists. Bellinelli again gets by Wade, hands it off to Okafor. That's twice Bellinelli has been able to dribble by Wade, and when help comes, he's found the open man.
That's right. You left Chalmers down there on a big, the guard on the big. That's what you want to do on offense.
He'd need better on-the-ball defense against Paul and Bellinelli. Hornets by 4. Chalmers protected it. Bosh was surrounded. Rio for 3. That's way off. And the rebound taken down by David West. This looks more like an early season Heat game.
It does, and you know what's happening, Eric, is the Heat are not running as much, so they're forced into the half-court offense, and New Orleans is forcing the Heat to take jump shots.
And the Hornets have now forged ahead 46-40 on a 9-2 New Orleans run. And his zone defense and the Heat's lack of rebounding have hurt Miami in the first half. No rhythm, no fluidity to the Heat offense. Chalmers for three. And Okafor down with a rebound. Emeka Okafor, 9 points, 5 rebounds. The Hornets out rebounding Miami by 12. Ariza. And we get a whistle inside, 3-second violation on Emeka Okafor. But Tony, the Hornets operating very efficiently on both ends of the floor. Monty Williams' team shot just 30% yesterday afternoon in Philadelphia. Here in the second quarter tonight, they have made 10 of their 14 shots.
Give the Hornets credit, give the rookie coach credit. He said before the game, we're going to come out ready to play. Yesterday is done with. Let's forget about it and let's focus on tonight. And they're doing a good job of doing that.
LeBron cut off by Ariza and fouled by Trevor Ariza. LeBron looking to get going. He's taken just 5 shots. This will be his first trip to the free throw line. He has 4 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. Ariza picking up his first foul. Trevor Ariza, drafted by the Knicks, spent a year and a half there. Then 2 seasons with the Magic, 2 with the Lakers, last season with the Houston Rockets. Stay tuned for Heat Halftime, which is coming up, presented by Chevy. Reporters Roundtable returns with Scribe stars like Ira Winderman, Israel Gutierrez, and Mike Wallace joining Jax. You don't want to miss it. Also, an interview tonight with Keith Haskins. Kristen Hewitt will talk with a Heat assistant coach.
Yeah, that roundtable talk will be about the future of this New Orleans Hornets franchise. Be interesting to hear what the Scribes think about it.
Enjoyed the pregame edition of the Reporters Roundtable. Lively panel. 6 points for LeBron James. 4-point lead for the Hornets with 3:39 remaining in this first half. Chris Paul, a lot of talk about his future. Still has a year left on his existing contract. Paul's cross-court pass finds Ariza. Shot clock is down to 6. David West against Juwan Howard. David West, that's his move, Coach. He likes to square up and face his defender before firing. He's got 11 points and 8 first-half rebounds.
Yeah, that's what he likes to do in a low post. He'll use a dribble to get away from his man, or he'll spot up for the J.
Second time the Heat have trailed by 6 in this quarter. Wade for 3. Dwayne Wade, what a second quarter this has been for him. He's got 12 of his 16 points in this period.
And his 74th 3 of the year.
Chris Paul has it ricochet off. Dwayne Wade with that
offense. Doing a lot. Good job moving without the ball. All right, you got Ariza right there. Now watch what happens on this play. As everyone's focusing in on West, there's going to be a backdoor cut right there. He's going to hit Ariza for an easy basket as Wade runs out to the corner. All right, then the second play, you got Bellinelli in the corner. Watch what happens here. Okay, you're going to see Emeka Okafor right here. Watch what happens when Bellinelli goes to the basket. Z comes over to help. It leaves Chalmers on the weak side against Okafor. And obviously a guard at 6'1", 6'2" can't deal with a guy 6'10", 6'11".
And, Coach, the Hornets are shooting a rather robust 56% here in the first half. Miami at 48%, only 1 turnover. But they've been trailing the Hornets for much of this quarter. By the way, that closer look was brought to you by our friends from Marooney. Remember, all 30 Marooney service lanes are open 7 days a week, so make sure to visit MarooneyService.com.
Dwayne would be happy that I gave him 73 threes for the season.
I know.
I shocked you. He's 16 for 57 now from the three-point line, a little over 27%.
By the way, Wade had 13 points in the second quarter against Sacramento, and he's got 12 points tonight in that same quarter against New Orleans.
1-2-2 matchup zone. They're going to stay in it. New Orleans is, because they want to slow the Heat down.
8 points for Chris Paul after those free throws. Ariza leans in, fouls Wade. Trevor Ariza's second foul. Well, after years of studying tape on Dwayne Wade, people still bite on that shot fake. Trevor Reason knows he was had, and Dwayne Wade will go to the free throw line 2 more times.
Yeah, I remember Dwayne Wade made a jumper in Madison Square Garden over Ariza to win a game at the buzzer against the Knicks. And there Ariza could not keep his feet.
One of my favorite Madison Square Garden moments from Miami. I have that picture somewhere in my office, Coach.
He ran over to the celebrity side of the arena, and he's pointing at them. Basket good.
Yeah, he and Matthew Modine were having a debate. Meanwhile, that shot was one of the many that ejected me right from our seat on broadcast row. I went flying.
Man, you and I being New Yorkers, we loved it happen against the Knicks. Yeah, right now they're looking to see if it's a three-point, if he shot it from the three-point line, so he gets 3 free throws, or he gets 2. And what Dwayne Wade usually does, he starts outside the three-point line, but then steps in to draw the foul, and it's usually a 2-shot foul.
Tony, he took just 2 free throws in the first quarter. He's already been to the line 8 times. Here in the second period, he's going to get at least 2 more free throw attempts right here, and maybe 3. We'll get a look in a moment to see if that was a 2 or a 3. And here is that look. Wade right there behind the line. Let's see where he is. That should be a 3-point situation for
Dwayne. It looks like 3. You can't see his feet on this.
Rodney Mott, one of the officials not looking at the official replay, is looking at ours right along with you, and that is a perfect look by Ted Ballard and our Sun Sports crew. That has got to be a 3-shot scenario for Dwayne.
Yeah, good job by the officials. They went over to the scores table. That for some reason that replay wasn't working, so they came over to look at our screens, and they saw that D-Wade stayed behind the 3-point line. He'll get 3 free throws.
Give Rodney Mott an A for extra effort. He wasn't involved with the official closer look, but he came over to our monitors, Coach, and saw what he needed to see. There's Rodney, veteran NBA official.
Very good rule by the NBA. They put in about 11 situations that the officials can go check out the replay to get the call right.
17 first-half points for Dwayne Wade. Remember, he went to the line 13 times in the first meeting. He's going to get the 13 free throws on this sequence. Wade with 18 points now. He's still trailing by 3. And the highest scoring quarter of the season for Dwayne Wade. 19 points in the half, 15 coming in this second quarter. So the 2 highest scoring quarters of the season for Wade come in consecutive second quarters, Saturday night in Sacramento and Monday night here in Miami. He trying to up their defense. That's what's been missing. Pondexter misses the 3. Arroyo yo-yoing the rebound, finally taken by David West. And 2 more second chance points for New Orleans. This must be solved or Miami is going to lose a game at home. They've been out-rebounded by 13 here in the first half, 24-11, and that is stunning.
A lot of the offensive rebounds have come on long rebounds off a long shot, so they've got to get after those rebounds that are hitting the floor, actually.
Tony, in the 4 straight road wins, the Heat out-rebounded the opposition by 14 a game, including a season-high 21 rebound advantage against the Kings on Saturday. Right now, David West having it his way. 15 first-half points, and the Hornets have matched their largest lead at 6.
2 things going on, Eric. The Hornets are playing very well, and the Heat don't have the pep that they usually have. And we talked about that at the beginning of the game. When you come off a long road trip, you never know how your team's going to react the first game back.
Thank goodness for Dwayne Wade, who has 22 first-half points. He just tripled for the second time in a row. So Wade with 20 of his 22 here in the second quarter. Check it, 18 of his 22 in this quarter. Here's West, launching from the elbow. And the rebound taken by D-Wade. He's done everything for Miami in this first half, except sell popcorn. Under a minute left in the quarter. LeBron against the rookie Pondexter. And Pondexter able to steal the ball away from LeBron, who is struggling through this first half with just 6 points. home crowd wanted a foul call on the rookie Quincy Pondexter.
When LeBron gets in the lane area, that's a common foul. The ball will be taken out on the side. But when LeBron gets in the lane area, you've got to get him low, because once he raises up off of the launching pad, you're dead in there. So they're trying to get him low. It's the second time that's happened on his drives to the lane.
Carlos Arroyo picking up his second foul. Just the fourth on the Heat in this quarter. Side out of bounds for the Hornets. Now the Hornets do not have the look of a team that's lost 8 of their last 11 games. They did yesterday in Philadelphia when they lost 88-70. They look like the team we saw in New Orleans en route to an 8-0 start. Gaskis down with rebound number 6, and the Heat have a chance for the final shot of the first half.
Give it to the hot hand, let him go.
Hot hand has it. 3 seconds left, Wade all the way in. Beautiful play. A magnificent drive finish for Dwayne Wade. A 20-point quarter and a 24-point half for Dwayne Wade.
Smart play by the Heat. Give it to the hot hand, let him go. When D-Wade's feeling it, there isn't anybody who can stop him. He's going to get a good shot. It's up to him to make it. And he went left on the baseline. His best move is going left with that left-hand dribble. You're going to see the reverse layup on the other side of the basket. And the Heat in a lethargic first half, down 1 at halftime.
Now for Dwayne Wade, his highest scoring quarter of the year and his highest scoring half of the season. Wade with 24 in the first half for Miami, but the Heat were mauled on the glass. They trail by 1. Now for a preview of tonight's halftime report presented by Chevy, your host, Jason Jackson.
Eric, thank you very much. A one-man second quarter. We'll speak with one man about the second half. That'll be assistant coach Keith Askins in just a bit. We also have hot seconds with Jackson. But right now, we got trucks, guys who drive a heavy-duty truck.
Tonight on the NBA Live television broadcast, Carmelo Anthony's back with the Nuggets, but will it be enough to stop the red-hot Knicks? Meanwhile, the Nets have their hands full as they host Kobe, Pau, and the rest of the Lakers. All that and more is coming at you right now on NBA Live.
Now Kobe on hesitation, and he'll go to the line.
LeBron James spins and scores. During this winning stretch, the Big Three have played like the Big Three.
Fast and furious action. Oh!
We're just trying to run our offense and play solid on defense.
No one's going to hand us wins. You're going to have to go take it. They're going to be hard.
Get out of my way. Get out of my way, Durant. You talk about fast and furious action. We got it right here.
Jordan Farmar and the Nets hosting the Los Angeles Lakers, starring Kobe Bryant. First quarter action. Lamar Odom drives. The layup plus the foul and the hero shot. Then Pau Gasol driving, getting blocked by Derek Favors. Here comes Jordan Farmar hitting the big-time three-pointer, cutting it to a 4-point game. Then Kobe Bryant pushes the ball, dishes to Pau Gasol for the thunderous one-hand jam. Take another look as Gasol finishes in transition. Fourth quarter, Lakers passing the ball around, and Lamar Odom the dish to Pau Gasol for the easy jam plus the foul. Then it's Anthony Morrow with the shot fake, steps in, and he's able to hit the jumper after juking, jiving, and hitting. Nets bench enjoying the action there. But here come the Lakers. Kobe Bryant waiting for the Gasol screen. He's able to connect from downtown. Devin Harris, however, would not be denied. As he drives down the lane, he's able to connect on the runner for two. But don't count out these Lakers. Kobe Bryant spinning in the air, the dish to Pau for the strong finish at the cup. Then it's Derek Fisher to Lamar Odom. He's able to bury the three. Lakers win 99-90. Still to come on NBA Live, the Sixers host the Hornets. Can they rise to the occasion? Plus, we'll bring you the top 5 plays of the night. Stay tuned. There's more NBA Live after this. From the unnecessary stats department, Tim Duncan playing the 1,000th regular season game of his career, and Duncan celebrating accordingly. He's able to get the shot to fall. George Hill then, the steal, loses control, but still able to put it up and in the fast break. Marcus Camby then, trying to get things going for Portland. He cuts to the hoop, throws it down over Richard Jefferson. Strong jam by the Camby man. Then Tony Parker the drive. Parker the dish to George Hill for the three-point shot in the corner. Andre Miller, third quarter action here. He's going to miss the fast break layup. However, watch LaMarcus Aldridge. No one else is. He finishes with the jam. No box out there from the Spurs. Tony Parker driving, getting a nice dish to DeJuan Blair, who finishes with a tasty little reverse layup there. Then it's George Hill driving, and he's going to put a nice move on there, scoring at the cup plus the foul. Take another look. Behind the back, up, in, plus the foul. Manu Ginobili getting into the mix. Foot on the line, the deepest two I've ever seen, and it goes in. Tony Parker getting work done. Gonna lose Patty Mills on a nice backdoor cut. Tim Duncan finds him. Parker scores. San Antonio wins 95-78. Goes on to win 106-77. Now it's time to announce our International Player of the Night. Tonight the award goes to the New York Knicks center, Amari Stoudemire from the United States. Amari netted 30 points, grabbed 8 rebounds, and blocked 3 shots while leading the Knicks to their 8th win in a row. Stoudemire broke the New York Knicks record when he scored 30 points for the 8th straight game, and that makes him our International Player of the Night. You've waited all show, but finally they're here, the top 5 plays. And at number 5, George Hill goes behind the back.
Sacrifices his body, gets on the floor. Hill and one! George Hill!
And number 4, Kobe to Powell on the fast break for the dunk.
Wyatt, the handoff to Gasol. He knew he had the trailer. Beautifully done.
Number 3, Raymond Felton, the oop to Chandler.
Alley-oop to Chandler. Oh, he throws it down. Perfect pass from Felton and a thrilling finish from Chandler. Will the thrill.
And number 2, a fan in Oklahoma City wins $20,000.
This dude just won himself $20,000.
Well, he's got good form. First of all, he even turns the wrist over. Look at that, the finish, the follow-through. Wow. Right in time for Christmas.
And the number 1 play of the night, James Harden with the facial.
Coast wide to Coast. Put it right on his head. Did James Harden, and the foul.
He made 17 of the Heat's next 23 points, so you get him upset and he turns it into points.
The Hornets shot 54% in the first half to Miami's 50%. Miami out-rebounded in those first 2 quarters, 25-13. And a hard foul, I believe, by Zydrunas Ilgauskas sends David West flying toward the first row of the seats under the basket. West and Okafor have provided problems to Miami. 15 points, 9 rebounds for West. 9 points, 5 rebounds for Okafor. And if Heat fans are looking for reason for concern, how about Chris Paul getting just 8 points and 3 assists in the first half? Yet the Hornets very much in this game. David West now with 16 points. He averages just under 19 a game. He is their top scorer, their number 2 rebounder, and their field goal percentage leader this season. Hornets are up by 3. 17 for David West. Now LeBron James, Tony, got to get more involved in this game. Just a 6-point first half for LeBron. And here is James. Arroyo's jumper is good. Carlos Arroyo hit a 3 early and then missed 3 shots. Now has 5 points. The Heat are down by 1. dwyanewade defending Marco Bellinelli. David West setting the screen. Paul splits 2 defenders. And Ilgauskas reaching to the sky for his 7th rebound. Arroyo for Bosh. He was the 3rd option, but was the best option.
That's why you keep trailing the play. You never know what's going to happen. They were overplaying Wade and LeBron on the wings. Arroyo, smart play.
13 points for Chris Bosh. Good patience by Carlos Arroyo. Kept his dribble alive. And then Arroyo inadvertently taking a swipe at Chris Paul. Arroyo's 3rd foul.
Paul is so active, Eric, when he has the ball standing still, gyrating, faking passes, faking the shot, and then he draws attention and contact.
You know, Tony, the Heat defense, which has been so good, has held opponents at 40% or less in 6 of the last 7 games, and right now, the Hornets are at 53% from the floor. And Tony, Heat fans at halftime running in there saying, why aren't the Heat running more? You don't rebound, it's hard to run. The Heat have been out-rebounded by 11 at this moment.
That's the key.
David West on the flip, and West has all 4 points for the Hornets here in this 3rd quarter, and 19 on the night.
You can see why he's a 2-time All-Star.
David West been an All-Star in 2 of the last 3 seasons. You pretty much pencil him in for about 20 points, 9 rebounds a night over his career. LeBron, long jumper, comes up short. They have kept LeBron out of the paint for the most part. He'd get the offensive rebound, get a chance to run some offense here. Wade's running hook. Very difficult shot, and he runs out of room. Hornets with a 1-point lead and possession. 2 minutes gone by here in the 3rd quarter at the American Airlines Arena here in Miami. Heat have won 8 straight games. A winning streak that began November the 29th against Washington. Ilgauskas comes up with his 3rd block shot tonight. Hornets very good getting back in transition defense.
That was good right there. Wade had no options.
Bosh from the wing. And the rebound down to Chris Paul. Chris Paul, one of the NBA's premier point guards. LeBron James with his 3rd rebound. Heat looking for some momentum here at home. Ariza's done a nice job defending LeBron. Air ball for Ilgauskas. And very few second chances for Miami.
The crowd's starting to get a little antsy.
Wade on the passing lane. That's what the Heat need, Tony. A burst from their defense to trigger some offense.
Get the crowd into the game. Get some momentum. Wade's holding his left wrist.
He is. That's the wrist that's given him problems over the last few weeks. 4 on the shot clock. David West finds a seam in that Heat defense. David West, he has all 6 of the Hornets' points in this quarter.
And part of what Pete Baskins was talking about with Tristan at halftime is that the Heat are not rotating well. They double-team Paul. You got to rotate over to West. You can't leave him open like that.
21 points for David West. Bosh answers back. Bosh has 15. Well, the Heat a step slow on the defensive end tonight, and the Hornets are taking advantage. Another open look for West. Bosh with a box out, and it was Okafor that knocked it out of bounds. One spurt of solid defense could get the Heat going in this game.
And that will go down as a team rebound. You have to have as many rebounds as there is offensive misses by the opponent. That'll be a team rebound.
Zydrunas Ilgauskas leading the Heat with 8 rebounds. David West leading the Hornets with 9 rebounds.
You're back in that zone again.
Why not? It's worked. They've been in it most of the night. LeBron driving on Paul, flipped it up, and he'll go to the free throw line. Why is it so difficult for the Heat to get into the paint against the zone defense tonight?
Well, they clog it up, and what happens if you're in a matchup zone, Eric, you play the guy in your area man-to-man. As he leaves your area, you bump him to another guy standing there who now is playing you man-to-man. So what the Heat are trying to do at times is take advantage of screens. You screen just as much against a zone as you do against a man-to-man. Make use of the screen, get into the painted area, which LeBron just did, on the move, and that's very difficult to guard.
We've mentioned the last couple of nights, the third quarter has been the quarter for Miami. See if that holds true tonight. The Heat need a burst. LeBron gets a couple of free throws. LeBron James has 303 consecutive games with at least 10 points. Tonight he has 8. And the Heat, despite all their struggles, ahead by 1.
And LeBron, when he doesn't have a good first half, usually has an outstanding third quarter.
Trickled off the rim for Ariza, put back missed by West, and another foul on Miami. The New Orleans Hornets have been relentless on the offensive glass tonight. They are really hurting Miami in that regard.
And sometimes the Heat bigs are getting caught under the rim, under the backboard. Very difficult to rebound from out there. You got to come out a little bit out in front of the rim to get some rebounds.
Foul was on Ilgauskas. That's his third. The New Orleans Hornets this year, you ready for this? They ranked 29th in a 30-team league in offensive rebounds with under 9 a game. They have offensive rebounded well so far. They had 7 in the first half. And David West has been the #1 culprit. He had 5 offensive rebounds in the first half alone.
It's interesting. He had 7 offensive rebounds, but only 6 second chance points at halftime. Usually you have more.
David West with the last 12 Hornets points. And in fact, he has been their offense. He's the only Hornet to score here in the third quarter. Arroyo's open. Kaboom.
Good pass from LeBron. Good skip pass.
Carlos Arroyo now with 7 points. LeBron James with his 6th assist.
On the road, when the Heat were exchanging baskets at Golden State and Sacramento, all of a sudden they just went on a burst and opened up the game, both games in the third quarter.
Hornets scored 31 in the second quarter. Bellinelli got in. Ilgauskas picking up a 4th foul.
What happens with Ilgauskas, Eric? He's 35 going on 36. His feet are not as quick as they used to be, especially with those operations he had earlier in his career. So he uses his hands a lot, and that's why he gets in foul trouble.
So 14 fouls in the first 5 minutes of this quarter and 4 personal fouls on Heat starting center Zydrunas Ilgauskas. He will give way to Eric Dampier. Dampier now stepping onto the floor. Now MiamiHoopsGear.com offering you some great holiday specials now through December 20th. Shop MiamiHoopsGear.com. Spend $50 or more. You get a free 8x10 photograph of Bosh, James, and Wade while supplies last. Log on to MiamiHoopsGear.com right now to get the Heat fan in your life the hottest gifts for the holiday season. Bellinelli now with 7 points after making both free throws. Hornets are 17 of 20 at the foul line tonight. They're ahead by 1. Bosh got the baseline, got the slam.
Good pass from Arroyo. Bosh caught it in momentum, took it with that right hand to the basket. We know he can go either way, right or left to the rim.
Miami's starting to find their way on the offensive end, shooting 51%, only 2 turnovers. Now they got to solve their rebounding and defensive deficiencies. David West against Bosh, got a step, and gets another foul.
Oh my.
Scott Foster just giving Dwayne Wade a warning. Don't overreact to a foul like that. You'll get a technical next time. And remember, Wade already has a technical foul in this game. One more, he'd be ejected.
No, that's right. See Wade's reaction. Scott Foster pointed to him and said something. And if he gives him another tech, Wade will be out, like you said.
Foul was on Chris Bosh. And David West already 23 points, 10 rebounds. He is now 9 for 12 at the foul line. For David West, only his 4th double-double of the year. He's already near his rebounding high for the season, had 13 boards against Oklahoma City.
Bosh has some blood on his shorts. The referee's going to let him go to the bench, take care of it. Talked about offensive execution. Carlos Arroyo was a pure point guard, getting the ball to the right people at the right time. You can see Chris Bosh caught that with West trying to catch up, and he never did. He got by him for the dunk.
That's an in-the-lane replay brought to you by Marooney. Remember, all 30 Marooney service lanes are open 7 days a week. Visit MarooneyService.com. And a look at the Fox Exmo version of Chris Bosh's slam dunk. You know, Tony, the Hornets came in here with a 14-9 record and 8 losses in their last 11 games. But taking a closer look at that, some of their more recent losses coming at Utah, 2 losses to San Antonio, 2 losses to Oklahoma City, and a loss to the Red Hot Knicks. So the Hornet recent losses have come against some quality competition.
Yes, and you know, in the NBA, schedules are important. I believe it was the Lakers who opened up with a lot of games at home, got off to a fast start, and once they went on the road, they started losing.
Now the Heat have the second best home record in the Eastern Conference at 10-3, trailing only the Celtics, who are 10-1 at home. Miami's won 4 in a row here at home and 8 in a row overall. All 8 of those wins by at least 10 points. One of the great double-figure win streaks in NBA history. Only 5 longer streaks by double digits in NBA history. But can it live another night? West ties the game at 65.
Coach Spolstra will take a 2-point win tonight. You're not worrying about the streak.
David West with 24 points to go along with 10 rebounds. Heat going with Arroyo, James, Bosh, Dampier, and Wade. James just turned it over. Ariza ahead for West. He got back well that time.
It was Ariza with the steal. He knocked it away.
Trevor Ariza, very good defender. Bellinelli for 3. And the rebound taken by Emeka Okafor. And the problems continue for Miami on the defensive glass.
50-50 situations, and he talk about it all the time. They were great on the road getting those rebounds. You know, 50-50 is a situation where either team can get the ball, loose ball, rebound. Tonight, the Hornets are really doing a good job in those situations.
Bosh had 17 rebounds Saturday. He's got 4 tonight. That counts, and a foul. He had to zig and zag and weave his way in there, but he got there.
Change the direction by LeBron. He gets into the lane. He goes left to right. We talked about he's second in the NBA in scoring in the third quarter to Carmelo Anthony. Let's see if he explodes in the rest of this quarter.
Been amazing. Matter of fact, Tony, the Heat have been amazing in the last 2 third quarters, shooting 77% against the Warriors and Kings. They went 14 of 18 from the floor at Golden State on Friday, made 13 of their 17 shots in the third quarter at Sacramento on Saturday, and in the last 2 third quarters, the Heat have outscored the opposition 67-40. Tonight, they've outscored New Orleans 14-11, just barely enough to give the Heat a 2-point lead.
Eric, LeBron is the guy who, as you mentioned, he's had such good third quarters that he gets the Heat momentum, and then everyone picks up the slack. They play tougher defense at the other end. They get into the passing lanes. They give up 1 shot at the basket, and they get out running. And the momentum is what's carried them, especially the last 2 games in the third quarter.
Emeka Okafor picked up the last foul. LeBron James has already extended 1 streak, 304 consecutive double-figure games on your Marines.com leaderboard. LeBron looking to extend another streak. He's gone 8 games in a row with at least 1 3. Hasn't made 1 tonight, but he does have 11 points. And by the way, all 3 of Miami's turnovers. The Heat lead by 3. 5:35 left, third quarter. Can the Heat lift their defense and their rebounding to a level where they can win? And a foul by Wade on the Bellinelli attempt from downtown. Dwayne Wade's first foul, costly. Bellinelli will get 3 foul shots.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade came out to help on the top. Got called on the foul, hit Bellinelli's hand, looked like his left hand as he ran by. Bellinelli is going to get 3, as you mentioned, Eric.
Fox Exmo gives you a beautiful look at it. And you see Wade hand-to-hand contact. Marco Bellinelli from Bologna, Italy. Played 5 years professionally in Italy before 2 years with the Warriors and 1 year with the Raptors. He also is a member of the Italian national team. And don't be surprised that he has a place in the coach's heart.
That's right. How'd you guess that? He was a former 18th pick, first-round pick by Golden State. 81% foul shooter, makes 2 of the 3.
Marco Bellinelli with 9 points. The Heat with a 1-point lead. A nail-biter here in Miami so far. James powering his way in. That is what we've been waiting for tonight. The zone is giving you shots. LeBron now taking his liberties down the lane.
That might have been a man-to-man. Ariza picked him up at the top of the key and stayed with him, so I think that was a man-to-man that time.
5 straight points for LeBron. David West backing up and sticking it in. David West, he had 15 points in the first half. He has 11 here in the third quarter. A 26-point game for West.
And you got to love the pace he plays at. It's his own pace. He never gets panicky, and he just plays, and he makes it look easy, just like Chris Paul does. And yes, now they're back in that zone.
5 on the shot clock. Here's Bosh with 3 to shoot. Flips it up and got fouled. Well, the Heat are picking their spots. They're finally getting into the paint with some regularity.
Well, you know, when they double team on the top, either LeBron or D. Wade, that opens it up so there's only 3 guys left in the zone. So there's a lot of pockets in the zone that you can drive.
3rd foul on Emeka Okafor. 3rd team foul on the New Orleans Hornets. LeBron James, during the 8-game winning streak, averaging 26 points on 54% shooting. Bosh at the line now with 17 points. Hey, Heat fans, how nuts are you about your Miami Heat? Well, Nuts About Florida wants you to submit a photo showing that you are nuts about the Heat for your chance to win 2 tickets to a regular season home game, plus a lot more. Ready for this? Log on to heat.com/nuts for more information.
So we want a nutty photo.
8 points in the quarter for Bosh. Actually, 7 in the quarter for Bosh. He's got 18 points for the game. The Heat lead by 3. Bosh, by the way, averaging just under 18 points a game. Chris Paul just barely turns the corner where he found the wide open Willie Green. What a perfect pass under duress by Chris Paul.
Not unexpected. That's the way he plays. That's why I think he's the best point guard in the NBA.
His 5th assist, half of what he averages. The number 3 assist man in the NBA this year. Wade with 4 minutes left, third quarter, almost lost the ball. Dampier recovering it. 5 on the shot clock. LeBron for 3. Bosh could not hold on. Wade saves it into LeBron. Arroyo. Nope. Wade flying, but the rebound to Paul.
They're very active under the basket. You like the fact that the Heat were active, even though they didn't get that rebound. That's the way you have to play. Let's see if this can spur them on.
Dwayne inducing that foul against Chris Paul. Wade almost seeking out the contact. Picks up the 3rd foul of the game on the Hornets' talented point guard.
And it'll be Heat ball on the side. Both teams now are in the penalty the rest of the quarter.
Well, the Heat active but missing in that last offensive skirmish. Juwan Howard in. Chris Bosh to the bench with 19 points and 5 rebounds. Juwan Howard, the 17-year veteran out of Michigan, playing in his 17th game off the bench for the Heat. That's Aaron Gray off the Hornets bench, just his 3rd game of the year.
Giving David West a breather.
David West sits down. He's been the most impressive Hornet tonight. 26 points and 10 rebounds. 11 of those points in this period. Willie Green is taking his turn defending Wade. And Wade dribbling it off a shoe top out of bounds. Last touch by a Hornet. Heat shooting 51% with 3 turnovers. You would think they would be comfortably ahead. The Hornets, however, 49%. Only 5 turnovers and a 9 rebound advantage. Both teams, by the way, identical from the free throw line, 20 for 25. Seven seconds left on the 24-second clock. LeBron against the long-armed Ariza. In trouble. Oh my!
From behind the backboard. What a shot.
An incredible shot by LeBron James. I don't know how he even saw the basket, much less put the ball in the basket.
Sometimes, Eric, when you have to shoot the ball, you just seem to relax and get it up there. You got nothing to lose. The shot clock is going to go off. You see the shot clock up there? 1 second on the clock. He had to shoot it high in the air to get it over the corner of the backboard.
If that's a game of horse, he's going home a winner.
Look where he shot that from. Wow, what an outstanding shot by LeBron James.
This crowd still buzzing over that basket. But on the ensuing possession, Dwayne picked up his second foul, and Chris Paul is at the line. What an unbelievable shot by LeBron James, giving him 15 points. 8 in this quarter.
Reminds you of that shot Anthony Carter made against the Knicks way back when in the playoffs.
And a crucial situation at the Garden gave the Heat a 78-77 win in that game.
I like the fact you remembered the score.
Of course. Chris Paul now with 10 points. Miami's up by 1. James actually has 9 of his 15 in this quarter. Here's Wade, short on the 3. Rebound bounces back to Eric Dampier. Dampier sets a screen. Wade splits the D, draws the foul. Basket won't count. Basket does not count. Eric Dampier, he sets a screen. The defender disappears.
And LeBron James with the best, maybe the best, most difficult shot of the season so far. Shooting it high over the backboard, through the net. Pretty shot.
James had a terrific game. 38 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds without committing a turnover. The Cavaliers come to Miami. Of course, the Heat won that game 118-90 back on the 2nd of December, a game that brought the Heat closer together. Now the Cavaliers coming back to Miami Wednesday night, a 7 o'clock start here on Sun Sports with Heat Live, 7:30 the tip. Good seats are still available for the Heat and Cavaliers. Great lower level seats or uptown for a great low price. You can buy your tickets online at heat.com or see it on Sun Sports Wednesday night.
Eric, in this game, the biggest lead by both teams has been 6. The lead changes have been 16. The game has been tied 11 times. And in this quarter, neither team has led by more than 3 points.
And that point from the free throw line, Dwayne Wade's first point of the second half after a 24-point first half. Wade getting 20 points in the second quarter. That's a Heat second quarter record. Tim Hardaway and Sherman Douglas, 2 point guards from the past, both had 19-point second quarters during their careers in Miami. 26 for Wade. The Heat lead by 3. 2:30 left here in the third quarter. Eric Reed, Tony Fiorentino, Jason Jackson, and the Sun Sports crew. Happy you've joined us on a big game NBA Monday. Jarrett Jack with 3 on the shot clock. Jack hitting the runner. Coach, he has helped them since coming over in the trade with the Raptors that sent Peja Stojakovic north of the border.
Jack's got a scorer's mentality, Eric. He's much better driving the ball than he is shooting it, as you saw right there.
6 points for Jarrett Jack. LeBron open for 3. Nope. LeBron James 0 for 2 from downtown tonight. And the Hornets will get the ball back. 26 points for Dwayne Wade, 19 for Chris Bosh, 15 for LeBron James. For the Hornets, David West with a 26-point, 10-rebound night. Chris Paul with 10 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Wade sits down. Mario Chalmers in the game, so is James Jones.
You can see the way this game's going. LeBron and D. Wade are going to have to play big minutes in that fourth quarter, and also Chris Bosh.
Jack turned it over, dribbled it off his foot. Dampier picks up the free ball. Very low turnover game. The Hornets with 6, Miami only 3. Heat shooting 50, for both teams actually shooting 50%. Statistically, it's like looking at a mirror. The Heat are 25 of 50 from the floor. The Hornets are 26 of 52. Both teams are 22 of 27 at the foul line. The biggest statistical difference, rebounding, where the Hornets maintain an 8-board edge. Foul there was against Smith, and Mario Chalmers hits the first. Jason Smith with his second foul. 3 points for Mario Chalmers, who's averaged 20, actually he's played over 20 minutes in 8 of the Heat's last 9 games.
12 for 12 now from the foul line for the season.
The Heat have hit 24 of 29 at the line. They're up by 3, but it is an uneasy lead at best.
You'd like to take advantage with Chris Paul out of the game.
Jarrett Jack picking up his dribble and not getting it back from Jason Smith. 4 on the shot clock. This is Willie Green. Pump faking, firing, and missing. And the rebound to James.
Excellent defense by LeBron. Did not go for the fake of Willie Green. Forced him into a tough shot.
The rookie Pondexter defending LeBron. Dampier sets the screen, frees James, and LeBron will get to the free throw line. But how about three different defenders tracking down Miami's LeBron James?
Now about LeBron using both hands to get to elude defenders at 6'8", 260. You know about his ball handling skills. He's got the ball handling skills of a point guard.
Aaron Gray picking up his fourth foul in only 8 minutes of playing time. LeBron has 16 points.
So he has
10 of them in this quarter.
Right, he has responded in this quarter like he usually does. Not as spectacularly as he did in the last two games, but he's getting the job done.
He had just 2 free throw attempts in the first half. This is his 5th free throw of the third quarter. And he stays perfect at the line. LeBron 7 for 7. He has 17. Miami has opened up a 5-point lead. Home crowd wants some defense. Jarrett Jack drives in, finds a wide open rookie Quincy Pondexter who airballs the three, and Aaron Gray swept it out of bounds.
Good box out by Dampier. Gray couldn't get to it, so he tried to tap it to a teammate who wasn't there.
The 22-year-old rookie Quincy Pondexter in his 17th NBA game. He was inactive for the first 3. 20 seconds left in the third quarter. LeBron against Pondexter. Runs in Aaron Gray, got the basket and the foul. Gray's 5th, and LeBron is feeling it.
Now he's fired up, got the crowd in the game. Having another real good third quarter. LeBron James, man, he gives the Heat the biggest lead of the game at 7 points. Watch this move again. Again, using more than one hand in a sequence. He went right to left. He, like D-Wade, rather go left to the basket than go right. They're very good with that left hand.
It was Dwayne Wade that scored 20 of his 24 in the second quarter, and now LeBron James has taken over the third period. LeBron with 13 points in this quarter.
He'll probably get a rest at the beginning of the fourth, and D-Wade will start the fourth quarter.
Willie Green on the move, finds Pondexter underneath, won't count. An offensive foul, and it's James Jones who draws his team-leading 12th charge of the year and saves a score for Miami.
Read an article with James commenting about, I know some of these charges I'm going to take. I'm going to be feeling it the next day, but it's something I've always done. I did it at American High School, and I did it at the University of Miami.
James gets it into Juwan Howard. 2 seconds left in the quarter. LeBron just lets the time run out. The Heat end the third quarter on an 8-2 run, and Miami goes up by 7. What a quarter for LeBron James. He scored 13 of his majestic 19 points.
Took control of the game. We talked about getting momentum going into the fourth quarter. LeBron James at it again, baby, in the third quarter.
As we turn the page for quarter 4 inside the Heat's house. Heat basketball on Sun Sports being presented by AT&T U-verse with Jason Jackson, Tony Fiorentino, and the Sun Sports crew. I'm Eric Reed. Here's a look at your all-year cooling hustle board. The Heat closing the gap a little bit, still being out-rebounded 31-23. The Heat with only 2 second chance points. They do have 6 blocks, 3 coming from Zydrunas Ilgauskas in the first half. Heat come up with a steal. James getting it quickly across. Fourth quarter is just getting started here in Miami.
And the Heat comes out with the same 5 that ended the third quarter. D-Wade's getting extended rest here.
James, Chalmers, Howard, Dampier, and James Jones. LeBron comes up short, and the rebound knocked out of bounds by both Jason Smith and Juwan Howard. Curtis Blair, the official underneath, didn't get a good look at it. Now he'll look for help. He's calling for a jump ball. And now they change the call, and the Hornets will regain possession.
Eric, in that first, in this game, James, Wade, and Bosh, 28 free throw attempts. The New Orleans Hornets, 27. So the 3 of them have more free throw attempts than the whole Hornets team.
Miami shooting 50% through 3 quarters with only 3 turnovers. Jack had it blocked by James Jones. Loose ball to Chalmers. Mario veering left. 7-point lead for Miami here in the fourth quarter. The Heat's largest lead tonight.
Part of what we're talking about with James Jones, Eric. He's not just a three-point shooter. He draws a charge one time, and then he blocks a shot the next.
Missed on the corner three. And Eric Dampier, good hustle, good hands. Dampier knocked it off the body of Aaron Gray to give Miami an extended possession.
James Jones leaves his man in the corner to go help on the shot. He comes over. And there he comes. His man's in that right corner. He came over and blocked it, and that's after in the end of that third quarter, drawing a charge. So he's a good defender, a good rebounder. We know what kind of three-point shooter he is.
His 8th block shot of the year. Bosh for the hook. It sticks. Chris Bosh just back into the game, has 21 points. His 10th game this year with 20 points or better.
You can feel the pace picking up a little bit here. Chris Paul still out of the game. Okafor on the foul, moving screen. He extended his arms out on Chalmers trying to get over the screen.
Coach, it's a 10-2 run for Miami and an emerging lead. The Heat are up by 9 and have possession. And the Heat defense has gotten a lot more livelier in the second half.
And we know that when the defense is livelier, when they're crisper, they're much better on offense.
LeBron for Bosh out of the corner. Yep.
LeBron James taking over the game. He didn't score there, but he got his 6th assist, hitting his buddy Chris Bosh in the right corner, giving the Heat the biggest lead of the game at 11.
Miami scored 10 straight points. They're on a 12-2 run. Heat fans have jumped out of their seats, and the remember that expression, calling all cars, an old police call? Well, in Miami, it's calling all stars. Chris Bosh is glittering. 4 points here in the quarter, 23 for the night. Dwayne Wade has 26, LeBron James has 19, and the Heat suddenly ahead by 11 in what has been a dogfight most of the night. 10-10 remaining in the fourth quarter. What defense by Bosh. He took it away from David West. Came up with a loose ball, and here comes LeBron.
Getting down on the ground to get after it.
10 minutes left in the game. The Heat trying to capitalize. James comes up short, and the rebound picked off the floor by Willie Green. Heat looking for their 9th consecutive win. The Hornets trying to avoid, for the first time this year, a 3-game losing streak. Ariza on the run. Trevor Ariza with his first points of the second half. He's got 9. And that's the Heat lead, 86-77. Here's Bosh. Off target, and David West down with rebound number 11. Dwayne Wade and Chris Paul sitting at the scorer's table, ready to come in next whistle.
How about the rest Chris Paul has had? He'll play the rest of the game now. He's been out a while.
Two great players having a very nice conversation at center court while they're waiting to get in.
Teammates on the Olympic gold medal team.
Yeah, gold medal bond between them. Chris Paul, one of the game's great players. Gold medal in 08, first team All-NBA the same year. So Paul is in, Jarrett Jack goes to the bench, and Dwayne Wade replaces LeBron James, who sits down with 19 points and 7 assists. LeBron is just 2 assists shy of 4,000 for his career.
How would you like to coach a team where you bring in Darren Williams, Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh off the bench?
I would sign up for that.
That was the Olympic team.
4 on the shot clock. West put a shoulder into the chest of Bosh. Offensive foul on West. Coach, that is a badge of honor in Miami. Moving your feet, planting yourself, and taking it right in the numbers for the good of your team.
We've said this many times. If you're guarding the ball, you can be shuffling your feet and beat the dribbler to that spot. You can be moving and still draw the charge.
Just the first foul tonight on David West. 10th turnover on New Orleans. Here's Bosh. And Trevor Ariza. Acrobatic rebound for him.
Actually, his first of the game.
West from 20.
Oh, no, his fourth of the game. I'm sorry.
Bosh collects his 6th rebound. Little lull right now, momentarily probably. Wade, corner jumper. Now the Heat taking some ill-advised shots their last several trips. Willie Green down the middle. Bosh with a block.
Yes.
What a block by Chris Bosh.
Green was looking for a foul, but there was none there. And then on the run now, off the block. Happens many times for the Heat. Defense spurs on the offense.
Miami up 11 for the second time here in the fourth quarter. Mario Chalmers with a score. He has 6 points. 14-4 run for the Heat. Deflected ball. Wade comes up with a steal. Oh, the Heat turning up the volume on the defensive end.
Yeah, turnover for Chris Paul.
Wade down the lane. Oh my! What a gorgeous drive by Dwayne Wade. He took it right at the shot blocker Okafor and twisted it in.
LeBron goes out. D-Wade comes in, gets to the launching pad and scores.
Wade's first field goal of the second half puts the Heat up by a game-high 13 points. Wade has 28. And that's a foul on Eric Dampier. Well, the Heat's house is buzzing over the second half performances from D. Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh.
Well, the great defense by Bosh right here. He goes up and blocks the shot, leads to Rio's drive at the other end. He sets up the big on the crossover dribble, and then D. Wade gets into the painted area. You see he uses the screen by Dampier. He doesn't need much room, and he gets into that, what Pat Riley calls the launching pad, and he buries the layup.
Bosh is tied his season high with 3 block shots tonight. And that's going to be a travel on David West. Coach, let's be honest. West was a monster through 3 quarters with 26 points and 11 rebounds. Bosh has finally figured it out defensively.
Yeah, he stopped him earlier and caused the turnover. Then he got the charge, and then right there he forced the travel.
You hear the home crowd. Miami up 13 with just over 7 minutes left. Wade again drawing a foul. David West will send Dwayne Wade to the free throw stripe with 28 points.
He went off Dampier's screen again. He's getting loose in the lane area, and we know that's dangerous for any defensive team to try and stop. It looked like they may have still been in that zone, and when Wade got into the lane, there wasn't a guy there to help out.
And you see the production is slipping for David West here in the fourth quarter. As for Dwayne Wade, 34 points on Friday in the win at Golden State, 36 points Saturday night in the win at Sacramento. And at the moment, Wade a point away from his 3rd consecutive 30-point game.
It's not a coincidence, Eric, that the Heat seem to have better defensive field goal percentage in the second half of games. So maybe defensively they wear teams down. New Orleans has 7 second-half turnovers to 1 for the Heat.
How about Miami here in the second half, opening up a 15-point lead? The Heat have outscored the Hornets 10-2 here in the fourth quarter. Foul here on Miami. And it's on Mario Chalmers, who has given the Heat a lift. Coach, we've talked about center by committee often. Also point guard and the 2-man committee of Arroyo and Chalmers playing better as the season grows longer.
What the coaches have realized is with D-Wade and LeBron, they want a point guard on the floor in the fourth quarter. That's another change that the coaches made since earlier in the season.
The Heat had a 1-point lead with 2 minutes and change left in the third quarter. They've gone on a 16-2 run ever since. Ariza drives on James, rebound to Bosh. You can feel the defense, how much better it's gotten.
No doubt. I mean, we're almost at the 6.5-minute mark. The Hornets had 54 points at halftime.
32 for Dwayne Wade, an 18-2 run, and a 17-point lead.
Well, it took the Heat a half to get their legs, Eric, and now they're pouring it on. D-Wade loves that jump shot from the left corner. You're watching the Miami Heat on Sun Sport, presented by AT&T Uverse. Hit the J.
On Indiana. Portland leading at Memphis. The Grizzlies have won their last 2. Mavericks are trying to extend the season's longest win streak to a 13th straight game. And Golden State hoping to end a 6-game losing streak. Not an easy task in Salt Lake City. Here in Miami, the Heat have outscored the Hornets 12-2 in the fourth quarter, an 18-2 run. Going back into the third quarter, the Heat have opened up a 17-point lead. Look at the defense. Paul with a shot clock running out, misses the three, gets it back and tries again. Missed again, and Wade with both hands on the rebound. Lockdown defense here in the fourth quarter by Miami.
Well, we've seen that also, Eric, where the Heat contest many shots, and even when guys get open shots, maybe they're working so hard to stop the Heat from running, they may wear out the legs a little bit.
Just 2 points here in the fourth quarter for New Orleans. And we have 5.5 minutes left. LeBron out to Chalmers. Long three, rims out, and Chris Paul boxing out Dwayne for the rebound. Hornets getting a foul from Mario Chalmers. Mario Chalmers picking up his third.
There was no reason to reach on that player. He had good defensive position. He's out 23, 24 feet from the basket. You got to be a little more disciplined with the lead, 17-point lead. Just contain him.
Fourth foul on Chalmers. Fourth team foul on the Heat. The Hornets with only one foul here in the fourth quarter. 5:17 remaining. Heat up by 17. Bellinelli for three. And the rebound to Bosh. That's 8 rebounds for Bosh. And still only 2 points in the fourth quarter for New Orleans.
So 19 minutes of the second half, Eric, the Hornets have scored 23 points.
Miami was trailing at the half, 54-53. 4 on the shot clock. The Hornets just 1 for 8 in this quarter. Chalmers, tough shot. Dampier missing on the tip. Bosh with a rebound in traffic. He draws the foul. Time for a Chris Bosh roar. How about it?
He's thinking about it. How about Dampier keeping that ball alive on the offensive boards?
8 rebounds for both Bosh and Ilgauskas. 23 points tonight for Chris Bosh. He earned the Heat another possession.
Yeah, it was a loose ball foul. The Heat will get possession.
Foul was on Trevor Ariza. That's Ariza's fourth foul. Paul against Wade. LeBron got by Ariza behind his back. He almost got to Grandma's house.
And the Heat again with an offensive rebound can run more clock off, more seconds off the clock.
LeBron James, who already tonight made one of the great shots of the year, behind the backboard on the angle. Here's LeBron on the spin, runs into Emeka Okafor. And the leak out to Ariza. Wade gets back. The missed dunk by Ariza. Give Dwayne Wade credit. He hustled back.
He's getting a standing ovation from some of the fans because of that hustle.
That was brilliant defensive work by Dwayne Wade on a 32-point night.
Well, Ariza must have had about a 30-foot lead on him, and D-Wade got back and made the play.
Dampier keeping it alive. Bosh with another rebound. This one knocked out of his hands.
Dampier.
10th rebound for Bosh. So Chris Bosh gets his team leading 8th double-double of the season.
D-Wade on a dead sprint to the basket to play defense with the big lead late in the game, not giving it up to Ariza, comes down and contests the dunk, made him change the direction of it, and Ariza can't believe he missed that dunk, but D-Wade was in pursuit.
I think Ariza probably a little stunned that a foul wasn't called. Wade did have the non-shot blocking hand on the chest of Trevor Ariza on that play.
So you and I have got it down. I'll watch the block hand and you watch the other hand because I didn't see that.
I did on the replay.
Good call.
Yep. Miami up by 17, 3:39 left in the game. The Heat not only trying to extend their winning streak to a 9th straight game. Could they do it again by double figures? Could they win a 9th straight game by at least 10 points or more? We'll find out. The home crowd still hungry. Up 17. They want more.
And earlier I was talking to some of the fans. A lot of fans stayed up to watch those games from the West Coast.
Never surprised at that. The Hornets held to 2 points in this fourth quarter. They come up with a steal by Ariza, and that time he made sure. 11 points for the former UCLA Bruin. Miami up by 15. 3:25 remaining in the game. And again, the shot clocks above both baskets have blinked out for the second time in a row here late in the game. You know, Tony, we were talking about double-figure winning streaks. The Heat looking for their 9th straight double-digit win, just 2 shy of the all-time record held by the Houston Rockets, New Jersey Nets, and the 1946-47 Washington Capitals. Those 3 teams, the 07-08 Rockets, the 03-04 Nets, and the 46-47 Capitals, with 10 wins, all by double figures in their winning streaks. The last team to do it 9 times was the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron's Cavs in the 08-09 season. The Celtics did it 9 straight times in the 07-08 campaign. So if the Heat could do it again tonight, it would be one of the top 6 winning streaks by double digits in NBA history.
About the Washington Capitals, they did it in the initial year of the NBA. 1946 was the first year, and it wasn't called the NBA yet. 2 years later, they called it the NBA, but the NBA has its origination from 1946. Origination, is that a word?
We are trying to plug in a temporary shot clock.
This is what they used to do in the NBA. They had the clocks in the corners.
See, I need this guy working in my house in case the cable ever goes.
This is old school. We're going back. Where's Jax? Going back old school.
Now the Miami Heat with only 5 turnovers tonight. They've shot 46%, and they have taken over the second half. The Heat were up 1 late in the third quarter. They put together a sparkling 18-2 run to open the lead up to 17. At the moment, it is 15.
Well, you hope there's no shot at the buzzer here because there won't be any lights on around the backboard, I believe.
Yeah, I don't see the temporary shot clock working either in that right corner. And if there's a power outage, thank goodness it's the clocks and not the Heat. There we go, 1 shot clock working. 10 seconds on the shot clock right now. 3:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Shot clock was reset to 20, excuse me. Sun Sports viewers can see that shot clock right in that lower right-hand corner. James back to Wade. Good catch. And the rebound down to David West. That's his 12th. Dwayne Wade with 32 points. Chris Bosh, 23 with 10 rebounds. Paul missed it. Okafor won't count. He pushed off on the rebound. Right now, Tony, the Hornets have that losing look to them. You could see it in their body language. Looking to avoid their first 3-game losing streak of the season. If they should fall tonight, it would be 9 losses in their last 12 games following an 8-0 start. Heat back. Look at tonight's Land Rover drive of the game, courtesy of Mr. LeBron James. The shot of the night, one of the shots of the year in the NBA. Game a horse, he wins. He's on his way home with everybody's lunch money. Over the 7-footer Avron Gray, and also, by the way, over the top of the backboard. 2 of his 19 points tonight. But, Coach, the story here in the fourth quarter has been defense. The Hornets held the 4 points on 2 for 11 shooting in this quarter. Only 2 minutes, 55 seconds left in the fourth. The Heat are ahead by 15. Miami going with Mario Chalmers, LeBron James, Chris Bosh, Eric Dampier, and Dwayne Wade. You've heard of startings 5s. This is your finishing 5. Dwayne Wade with 32 points, his 3rd straight game with over 30. LeBron missing on the 3. Dampier tipped it out, but right to his a Hornet player. The only thing LeBron James has not done tonight is make a 3, and so far has not extended his 8-game 3-point streak. Now the Heat defense has really gotten down to business. Late foul on LeBron James. Rodney Mott called it late. Trevor Ariza will get 3 foul shots with 2:21 to play. 2nd foul on LeBron.
How about let's see this again. No, we couldn't tell on the replay. The Mario Chalmers came in for Arroyo midway through the 3rd quarter and hasn't gone out. Been in the whole time in the second half.
Mario Chalmers has played 25 minutes, has 6 points, 3 assists, made all 4 of his free throws. And Chalmers tonight playing without committing a turnover. Chalmers just 9 turnovers in his first 16 games this year. Trevor Ariza with 13 points. And Chris Bosh, Tony, what you like most about Bosh, at least what I do, is his blue-collar work. Great to see him get 23 points. I think it's better to see him follow up his 17-rebound game with an 11-rebound effort tonight.
No doubt. And, you know, earlier in the year, he was struggling, switching positions, power forward, center. Since he's played the power forward position, it's been much better for him.
You know, interesting story I'd like to share with the home viewers right now. Moments after the Heat had beaten Sacramento on Saturday night, after we signed off our telecast, I saw Bosh standing on the court, and I went up to him. I said, Chris, you just did man's work getting 17 rebounds in the fourth game of a 6-game road trip, in a 6-night road trip. And you know what his first response to me? He said, I should have got 20 rebounds.
Don't you love that?
I did love that. I told him we enjoyed every one of your 17, but I just love that attitude. He had 17 boards. Best rebounding game of the season for Miami, and all he was thinking of was, I should have got 20.
That's what makes him a winner. Never satisfied.
Dampier with a foul. Chris Paul. Tony, a very quiet night for the two-time All-Star. 10 points, 5 assists, and 8 rebounds. So Paul, who averages 10 assists, has just 9 in the last 2 games.
91% foul shooter. Made one of the 2.
Chris Paul tonight does not have a steal. Paul had come into the game leading the league in steals and 13 consecutive games with at least 1 steal. Miami's lead is down to 12. It was up to as many as 17 earlier in this quarter. LeBron with a left hand will go to the free throw line on the foul from Emeka Okafor. Emeka picks up his 5th. Actually, that's his 6th. He has fouled out of the game. So Emeka Okafor, who riddled Miami in New Orleans back in early November with a season-high 26 points. Tonight he fouls out with 9 points and 6 rebounds, but 4 of 5 shooting, which makes him in 2 games against the Heat 16 of 18 from the floor.
Not bad. But, you know, in that 26-point game he had, he also had 13 rebounds, so the Heat held him in check tonight. 7 less than he got the last time.
Emeka Okafor finishing up what was his 281st consecutive game. He hasn't missed one in the last 4 seasons, all 82 the last 3 years, and he's played in every game this season.
People forget he was the Rookie of the Year the same year that Dwight Howard came out.
Dwight Howard taken by Orlando with a first pick in 2004, and Emeka Okafor off his 2004 NCAA championship and bronze medal was the 2nd pick in the draft.
He was also the most outstanding player in that Final 4.
LeBron with 20 points. So LeBron has reached the 20-point mark in 21 of the last 23 games Miami has played. It's a 13-point lead for the Heat. 1:29 to go as the Heat zero in on a 9th consecutive win.
Eric, this quarter, New Orleans has 7 field goals, 7 turnovers, and only 28 points in the second half. As you said, the Heat have done it on defense.
Want to hear something remarkable? Miami's magnificent trio, Dwayne LeBron James, and Chris Bosh. You know how many points they have tonight?
75.
Take a guess. 75 it is. For the 4th game in a row. The trio, when they score 70 points or better, they've done it 9 times. The Heat have won 8 of those games. And how about 75 points by those 3 guys, 4 consecutive games?
And if the Heat hold on here, they'll have a 9-game winning streak, all by double figures. We'll see if that occurs.
Impressive second half for Miami. They got the wake-up call after the Hornets were ahead at halftime, 54-53.
And he's got Cleveland coming in Wednesday night, and then at Madison Square Garden Friday night.
The Hornets with just 7 points in the 4th quarter. They have now shot 2 for 12 in the final period. Dwayne Wade down with a rebound. It's a 32 for Wade, 23 for Bosh, 20 points for LeBron. Bosh lobbing for Dampier and Chris Paul. It could have been a lot worse. He softened it up when he came around with a partial headlock of the taller, stronger, and meaner Eric Dampier.
You don't want to give up a dunk. And Dampier this year is 4 for 6 from the foul line in limited action, so put him on the line.
Miami taking their 37th and 38th free throws of the night. And Tony, David West, who was the best player for New Orleans tonight, he had 26 points and 11 rebounds through 3 quarters. He has just 1 rebound and has not scored here in the 4th.
Chris Bosh's defense. Remember those 3 straight plays he made when West caught the ball. It was a scramble. He knocked it away, got possession, and then he drew a charge, and then he blocked the shot.
Dwayne and LeBron James getting their curtain call here. Wade sits down, 32 points, his 3rd game in a row with 30 or better. LeBron goes to the bench with 20 points, 7 assists, and 4 rebounds. And Bosh sits down with 23 points and 11 rebounds.
6th time this year that Dwayne Wade's had 30 or more points.
So it will be the 4th consecutive game. The Heat's trio registers 75 points tonight. It's 75 of Miami's 96 points. We're in our final minute of the game. Quincy Pondexter denied at the summit by Eric Dampier. The block party has been amazing for Miami tonight. 9 block shots in the game for the Heat. And it's come from 5 different players, 3 apiece for Bosh and Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
The Heat had 9 the other night in Sacramento.
Miami will hold a 9th straight opponent under 100 points. 2nd best streak in the NBA to Portland's 10 straight. Jarrett Jack underneath for Quincy Pondexter. Well, the Heat will commit their fewest turnovers in a game this season. Just the 4th time all year they've been under 10. The Heat, the best team in the league, taking care of the basketball. That was on display tonight, Tony. A season low, 6 turnovers for the Heat.
Offensive efficiency, Eric. A goal of a coach is not to score every time down. That's unreasonable. But you can try to get a good shot every time down. If you can do that, you've got a good chance of putting a lot of pressure on the other team.
The Hornets will fall to 14-10 and suffer their first 3-game losing streak of the season. The Heat will boost their record to 18-8, 2nd best record in the East and the 2nd best home record as well at 11-3. The bell tolls for another Heat opponent. Tony, the winning streak stays alive. 9 straight wins, all of them by at least 10 points.
And 9 straight wins holding an opponent under 100 points.
The Heat hold the Hornets to 9 points in the 4th quarter and 30 points in the 2nd half. After a slow start, the Heat able to work their way toward win number 18. So a very pleasing victory when it's all said and done for Miami, and another strong effort from Chris Bosh. 23 points, 11 rebounds, and a one-way ticket to the winner's circle.
Eric, thank